Today in the book of Numbers, chapter 16 in the King James Version. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will shew who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. This do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee. And seek ye the priesthood also, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. It is a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. And Moses was very wroth, and said unto the Lord, Respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one mule from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, Be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. And take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went into Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they gat up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out, and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up, with all the appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their gods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar, for they offered them before the Lord. Therefore they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aaron come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah and his company, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses. But on the morrow all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer, and put fire therein from off the altar, and put it on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from the Lord, the plague has begun. And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense, and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died about the matter of Korah. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. Okay, so tons of information here, sermon upon sermon, and particularly lots that happen. Once again, the people, time's been passing by. So in the book of Numbers, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, in the book of Numbers, we start off at 2 years, but time has been passing by. So time is passing by, and as time progresses, the people already get mature, because they first, remember in the previous Bible studies, they picked 12 people to go into the land, and they brought back a report saying that the land is great. However, they were not going to be able to defeat the people, even though their Lord God presence was there, and they saw the different things, that the miracles that the Lord performed to bring them even out of Egypt. So there was only two. Caleb and Joshua were the only two that believed full-heartedly and full faith in the Lord, that they could go into this land and be able to conquer and be able to uphold what the Lord had promised them. Instead, they listened to the other people that were in the group that led them astray, the other 10, and told them that they couldn't do it. So they did not go up. And then when Moses told them from the words from the Lord, that they would not be able to go up, but their children would have to be able to go up. Then they wanted to go up, and then they wanted to take the land by possession. And so again, time is moving on, and so they try to go and they get routed. They are unable to do it. They're chased back. Some of them pass away, and now they're upset and they're complaining still more and more. And here once again, they feel like there is blame. Their blame is on Moses and Aaron. So what happens? They go, Korah and this group of followers are mad because they believe that the Lord is not just, wouldn't be just speaking to them directly. Anybody can be holy. So listen to this. And they gathered themselves together in verse 3 against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. So they're utilizing that the Lord's protecting all of them as, hey, you're not any better than us, so any one of us can take over and take control, and we can go ahead and do what we want to do, what we have thought as a group, which is taking control and whatever, whether it's attempting to go into the promised land or move in a different direction, even back to Egypt once again, whatever the case may be. What they didn't understand and realize is that the Lord can choose whom he chooses to be a messenger, a person that delivers the word. And also at this time, it wasn't about power and authority. It was about the Lord being the good shepherd, the God, and the protector and the redeemer and the guide. The ruler was God. So if they had these types of issues, they could have, just like they mentioned, taken directly to the Lord. Instead, they got into that men's wickedness, that jealousy, that condescending, that well, if you can do it, so can I. Instead of taking it directly to the Lord and saying, and getting the affirmation from our God, right? They didn't do that. They took it upon themselves. So what happens? They go to Moses. Moses immediately falls on the ground. Him and Aaron fall on the ground and ask the Lord to basically, forgive, as in what's good, why are these people doing this, Lord? See what's going to happen. And then they do the testing of the censers, where Moses told them to fill the censers, and the following day, then the ones that were going to showed through. And every man, in 17, and take every man his censer and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. So after they did this, and of course, the censers, the one true censers, were Aaron and Moses and Aaron. And so in verse 20, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. But what did Moses do? And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And so the Lord spoke to Moses to have them remove themselves from the conspirators, the people who decided to take it upon themselves to change leadership, right? So there's a lot here. There's sermon upon sermon. Bringing past to present, one thing that we can look at is even today, when we are focused on a task, or when we have set out on something, a goal, and whether you're part of a group or what have you, there are some times where others will come along and be of assistance, or also show some type of leadership. we are to take it to the Lord whenever there is some type of doubt, whenever there's some type of issue with what's going on, whether it be questionings from ourselves as being in a group and being in a leadership role or another. And we are to take it to the Lord, because when we start to take things in a situation how we think and feel about things and what we believe, things will get off track and they can wind up in a catastrophe, and to the point where now you're having to defend yourself because you're looking like the fool, like the person that shouldn't be bringing up any issues, when there is a chance that you could have gone to the Lord and had the situation resolved. You could have been told, hey, allow this to happen. This is correct. Or no, this isn't correct. So take this type of action, or say this kind of thing, or wait, be patient and watch while I work. So the Lord works in his ways. And the best thing to do each and every time, even in a task, even in something in life, is to go to him. When those questions arise, whether they're against you or whether it's against someone else, in regards to obtaining goal, obtain in life. There's all kinds of different things that ways that you can look at this too, in school and family, because there's always type of a reference to people wanting some type of order, like as in rank and file. Somebody wants to be the worker / then you have somebody that wants to be the leader or the head, and so on and so forth. So whenever you run into those situations, make sure to take it to the Lord. Whether, again, you're the person that is in leadership and being questioned, or you are questioning the path and the choices that are being made. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?